time for you guys to hear me put in my 2 cents about fair use. Fact is, it's very difficult to be able to define it. Everybody's figured that out. That last video you just saw that I made, that's an example of fair use. Because yes, I'm using an image of something that belongs to somebody else. But at the same time, it is something that's publicly and widely available. It's not something that will cost them money. Or what I mean is that it's meant to state an opinion. For example, 2014, The Kids' Choice Awards. That show sucked, but it did a few things right. One of them was that rather than choose to slime Cody Simpson or Austin Mahoney over the other and disappoint people, they chose to make everyone happy and slime them both. In this case, they chose the majority vote. They were making it, you make a choice, we're going to stick with it, we're going to do what you want. But here's the thing about voting. And we live in a country where voting is great because everybody has a say. But the fact is with voting, the majority always rules. The majority always rules. Whoever gets the most votes is the winner. For example, Trump. Trump is going to be the winner because he's going to get the most votes. It seems like it. Whether or not he's the best thing for the country, though, is another matter entirely. People don't usually know what's good for them because people are idiots. I'm sorry, but it's true. People are idiots. People judge based on emotion rather than logic. I'm responding based on emotion right now rather than logic because it's who we are. It's how we go about things. The fact is this. Nickelodeon does not respond well to criticism. They often go with what's easy as opposed to what is right. Hey, I'm like that too. I'll go for what's easy. But at the same time, I do still acknowledge when I'm wrong. I know when I'm wrong. So, bottom line. Or not even the bottom line, because I still got more to say. Here's how badly Nickelodeon responds to criticism. Now, I'm not fully aware of this situation, but it seems like this is the case. When they posted the promo for the Thunderbirds, they got so many negative comments about it. How much people thought this show was going to suck. How much people were not looking forward to it. You know what Nickelodeon did? And I found this out on a posting of the promo on another channel in the comments. They deleted all those comments and disabled the comments on the video because they were so afraid of the negative criticism. They didn't want to look at it. They didn't want to think about it. That is Nickelodeon in a nutshell. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want and they're not going to care about what anybody else thinks. They're not going to acknowledge when they're wrong unless somebody makes a big enough fucking noise that they do so. And that relates to YouTube in the sense that YouTube, for the longest time, has done nothing about its broken copyright system until Where's the Fair Use? WTFU. Because nobody made a big enough noise. That's the fact. They don't listen. Big people don't listen to the little people, but they listen to little people who make noise together. I've been a victim of, not to the extent of others have, like Channel Awesome or I Hate Everything or The Mysterious Mr. Enter. I've been a victim. I haven't had the same bad luck they've had, but I have had bad luck. I don't monetize my videos because I don't seek money for my videos. So when they block my monetization because I use something I'm not supposed to use, they don't think I'm supposed to use, it doesn't matter because I'm not trying to profit off of it. This is not for me to make money. This is for me to try to get my thoughts out there and to hear what people think of them. And to try to interest people in something that I do in my videos. Here's how ridiculous this is. My video I posted of It's the Weekend, Little JJ, in which I played the song while I hold up the CD. That video got caught, and I'm told not only that I can't monetize it, but it's being blocked in Germany. It's just me playing a song. That's it. I mean, granted, it's not a song that everybody... Granted, like, I'm not trying to take away anything from the words. I'm not benefiting from it other than to just try to gain more traction and attention for my channel. That's it. That's everything. That's the only reason I do this. To gain notoriety. And because I have an outlet for my interests as well. So, we have my Love the Way You Lie cover I did. The audio I heard, I found that the audio on that got blocked. Because, and I have no idea why the audio got blocked. I didn't use any of the music from the song. I just rapped the lyrics, that's it. You're blocking the audio of my video because I sang the lyrics? In what universe does that make sense? I had no music. I didn't use the music. With the A Run to You cover, nothing happened there because I didn't use or do anything there. My reaction video to the first Mockingjay Part 2 trailer, it got flagged because the audio was in the background. I fully acknowledged that I was using it. Every time I've acknowledged it because I'm not trying to piggyback off of it for success. What I mean is I'm not claiming it's my own to benefit from it in that way. I'm trying to use it in the means of garnering interest for myself. So, then we come to my, what was it? Oh, my two Deliver Me From Hell trailers that I made. The music got flagged both times. I acknowledged both times. Nothing happened. Maybe one of them got blocked in a different country, but that's it. As for, then there's my cover on The Trial by Pink Floyd. I used very little of the audio from that song. Most of it was just me singing it. I used very little. I used the audio I used the audio of the first crazy verse from the kids' chorus and the second of that chorus, and then the ending of the song from Tear Down the Wall to the very end. That's all I used. The second part of that video, the Tear Down the Wall audio, that got blocked. Just because I used it, which I can sort of get. And I acknowledged I used it. I completely acknowledged. These people, they're Nazis. They can't be reasoned with. Because they are just so anal about the way that they go about their business. They refuse to have any leeway whatsoever. And it's now, when it's so late in the time, not too late, but it's so much time has passed, and finally people on YouTube are garnering together and acknowledging it. It's irritating as shit. And we're fed up with it. We've had enough. We're done. We're not gonna put up with this bullshit anymore. Because it is bullshit. And we're all saying in a collective voice, it's bullshit. And it's taking a collective voice to be able to get everybody to know it is bull fucking shit. And they're realizing it's not until everybody says something. And let's think of the fact that, here's another example. This didn't happen to me, but this happened to somebody else. Pro Jared, if you recall, if you saw Skywhale, the first episode of Game Shakers, he made a cameo on the show, talking about the game that they made in it. in universe. Pie Guy says that it's even more awesome because he knows his real thoughts on the episode, which clearly he didn't respond well to it. But I'll never see that because Nick forced him to take it down. Nick forced him to take it down because they were so afraid of what he was going to say. He was an influential voice. He needed to be silenced. That is what they think. That is what they do. And they keep getting away with it because Viacom supports every fucking thing they do. And we're fucking sick of it. We're fucking tired of it. And like I said, with last night's show, they don't give a fuck about Bethany Mota's fans because they just fucking cared who got the most votes. Screw the 36% who voted for her to get slimed. Because the 64 to... Because the bigger majority that voted for Cameron Dallas, they matter more. Because they are the bigger majority. That is not how you do things. That is not how you do your business. You try to appeal to everyone, and you don't shut people out. That is what content owners on YouTube do. They shut people out. Because they can't stand for anybody to have an opinion about themselves that is opposite of what they think. And even then, there are those trolls who try to take monetization away from somebody. Like, maybe there was the option I could monetize my videos if I chose to do so. And if I did, somebody could have stolen it from me. Even then, even though I don't choose not to, somebody could steal my monetization from me. I don't know how it works, so forgive me if I have that wrong. Pie Guy did a video about like how fair use is only permitted in a court of law, but he didn't know how accurate he was, so he couldn't really say all that much as to whether or not he was right and whether or not his opinion had a basis. So he ended up taking that video down himself because of that, because he couldn't for certain say whether or not he actually felt that way. And very early on, said example, Smosh, their Pokemon video, because they were just lip syncing it. It got removed because they used the song. That's it. They were doing something new and fresh with it, and yet it got taken down. So what did they do? They made the Pokemon Revenge song, in which they talked about how the video was removed for that specific reason. That's a very early onset example of it. They really got to add the hashtag into the title of that video, or like post a video in which they talk about it and post a link to the video and talk about where's the fair use, or talk about fair use in general. It's true, we don't know for certain how to define fair use, and that is the tricky thing. But still, there is some way in which it applies. There is a big way in which it applies to content creators on YouTube. And it can't be ignored anymore. They can't just willy-nilly decide whose video stays and whose video goes just because they're worried about upsetting a few people. They upset a few people, they upset a lot of people. And they're realizing that just now. It's sinking in just now. And they gotta figure out, they gotta risk the wrath of the copyright owners, the content owners, in order to be able to satisfy the content creators. They have to figure out a means of getting them to accept, getting the content owners to accept that this is not in their control. They don't have the right to dictate it anymore. They have the right to dictate it to a relatively reasonable degree, but so much of it is not for them to decide solely on their own. WTFU. Where's the fair fucking use? WTFU. Where's the fair use?